sleeping.
Oh,
Oh, I just yelled really.
oh yes.
Oh well, they didn't wake up. We're here today to show you how to make sleepy bunnies. They're very similar to sleepy mice. Maybe you've made sleepy mice. Maybe you haven't. Sleepy mice look like this. Little tiny curled up mices. No, it's not for you, Milo.
They all are.
And we've also done sleepy squirrels, which have a little simple armature because they have this wire tail. But the bunnies, the bunny kit has 2 different types of core wool. I think 6 different kinds of colors and top coats. So, and it'll make approximately 5 or 6. Actually, I made 6, and there was maybe enough for more, depending on how frugal you are with your wool. And there's tan, gray, white, and then with all the different color options, they could be spotted, they could be seal point, they could have white spots, black spots, brown spots, just lots of options. So that's really fun.
Yes, like a little fairy box of chocolates.
Yeah. And we're rolling this out too. We have a group on Facebook called Serafina Felt on Earth. And this is one of the projects. It's a small project that works really well. Felt on Earth is a group that we created because we organize every spring basically like a free art project. So people felt little things, they put a tag with it, they package it however they want it, and they leave it in public for someone else to find. So this is kind of part of that. It's just to make for fun, but with that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of it. So it's a great beginner project. It does wrapping the head and body on the Zuli tool does take a little practice, just because that's your main shape, and you want that to be well formed. But other than that, it's all pretty simple, no armatures, and a lot of fun. Yeah, you got any information for me? You're usually a wealth of knowledge.
I know. I would just like to point out this is the 3rd bunny type tutorial we have done. Bunny Puff, Basket Bunny, Sleepy Bunny. I mean, bunnies are great, don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But I'm running out of material.
Yes. Well,
the jokes really weren't good the first
right.
bunny tutorials.
Let's make just random animal jokes.
So, I have stuff. Just be kind.
Maybe there's needle felting jokes. We should start our own book.
Yes.
And also we want to do maybe a hare in the future. So that would be the fourth one.
Yeah. They stretch me here.
Okay. They're getting bored. We should get started.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Steady?
We are ready to go.
Okay. So if this is your first project, you're going to need felting surface, needles, and if you don't have a Zuli tool, you can use a wooden spoon or maybe a pencil. A skewer gets a little tight. It's nice to have a little bit of width so that you have a little bit of give. And the kit has, like I said, a lot of options for different colors, and I'll go through those individually. And an ounce each of gray and white. So the white can work under any color. I've got a white core under this tan. It just takes a little more effort to color the white than it does the gray. And so the gray is in there so that you could just make gray bunnies without too much difficulty. This is just it's a nice color too. And then the gray also works well under browns if you want to go darker, I guess is what I'm saying. I thought I had one. Guess not. I thought I had one that was built on gray, a brown bunny. This one was built on white also. But they're the same kind of core wool, just 2 different bases, 2 different colors. I think today I think white probably shows up better.
Yeah. To show the color changes, yes.
I'll use white, and I'll do a seal point so that you guys can see this technique of the darker edges. But like I said, it could be any color. It could be white with just with spots, brown spots, black spots. This one doesn't have gradual changes, it just has spots. So, but I have to choose one. I have to choose one to get started. And I'll just show you these real quick. Always, you know, a great idea if you have the time is to watch the tutorial and then make it along with me. If you watch the tutorial, then you have an idea of where you're headed. So pink is for, this is our bunny bear. It's a house carded bat, and that's just for the ears, inside the ears. I think on this guy, I put a little bit of pink on his nose and feet. And then this is also a house carded bat. It's this is our tawny. So this is great for getting these tan colors. There is a tan core, but I just feel like this is just so much nicer. So we put that in there. So that's a top coat. The other top coat that you'll get quite a bit of is Seraphina white, and that just brightens up the core wool a little bit. It's just a little bit prettier than the core wool, a little brighter. So if you make white rabbits, you have this. We'll use that. Black can be for spots, but also for eyes and little accent lines. Same with the dark gray. And then there's tan, cinnamon, light gray, and medium gray. I'm sorry, oatmeal and medium gray. And then the gray core kind of rounds that out. So these can all be blended. They could all be spots, just tons of options. To get started, we're going to make the main head and body on the Zuli tool. And you're going to use about a 12-inch piece of core wool and about the length of the stabbit. This core wool is a little thinner than we get it sometimes. Actually, I have some right here. So you can see how thick that is. So I'm actually going to go a little bit longer because I need to quarter this. And if I don't go longer, it's not going to be quite enough wool. But if I were using this, I'd say 12 inches. Because this is it's just a thicker roving. So I'm going to go a little longer, more like 14. And then we're going to pull this into quarters. And I always start in the center and then go to each end. The wool just pulls apart really, really smoothly like that. Oh, now the sun's out. It was like storming and now it's sunny. So we take one piece and wrap a head on the end of the Zuli tool. And I'm left-handed, so I hold my tool or my armature, whatever I'm holding, in my right hand, and I use my left hand to wrap. If you're right-handed, it's going to look like this, and I want you to wrap. When you go around the top, I want it to be going away from you. That way, you can pull it really tightly and get a real nice, smooth wrap on it. If you try to come towards yourself, you're coming at yourself and you can't get that nice, it's harder to get that nice tight pull. So just a habit, if you're getting started, that I would like for you to have. Okay, so after I go around the round end of the Zuli tool, I want to angle back and forth on this faceted end. So I'm going to angle this way, and then I'm going to come back. And that pulls it tight, and it creates a point. Then I'm going to go around. Then I'm going to do the same thing again. And then I'm going to go around. And if I can, I'm going to do it again. And so the key here with this getting started is a nice, smooth, tight wrap so that it's just a really nice, smooth shape. And I could stab it a little bit to hold it, but it doesn't really need it. Now we're going to do 2 of our quarters to make a body. And I keep my hand here so that I stay within this 2 inches. If I hold it back here and wrap, it's going to want to get longer and longer, and then you're not going to end up with a bunny. You're going to end up with like a ferret. So I'm going to go towards the head and back. And I kind of just come up to it. I don't really overlap it, but I definitely come right up to it. And then I'm going to do a second piece like that. Like I said, I don't let it go past my fingers.
What do you call a positive rabbit?
I don't know what.
Optimist.
Optimist. That's cute. That's new.
I think it's new.
I don't remember that one. I'm on my fourth piece. So I did 2. And now I'm doing the third on the body. And what I want this piece to do is build up the butt a little bit, the back end, and then come forward. I'm stretching it out so that it's, controllable and I can get it to go where I want it to go. And then overlap the back of the head. Like I'm wrapping around the thickest part of the back of the head. And that spans that neck area and hopefully brings it all together. I could just stab in on the butt a little bit to keep it from slipping down the tool. So what you should have in the end, these are, can you see these?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just scoot it up a little bit. These are 2-inch marks. So I have a 3-inch piece here. I'm going to slide that off. And then I'm going to, I don't know, when I look at this, sometimes I find a rounder spot to the head and a flatter spot. I'm not finding it very much this time. I'm going to make this the top of the head and this the bottom of the head or the chin because this looks like a little bit rounder to me. So I'm going to put the forehead down. So this would be the chin. And my pink tool has 2 needles in it, so I can stab in a straight line. If yours has 3 in it, pick up a single needle so that you can stab in a straight line. And I'm going to come back on this tip. Can you see how I'm stabbing that in on itself?
Yes.
Kind of at a 45-degree angle. Right in the center, I'm making a dent. And that is the little muzzle there. That's the little rabbit. Cheek poofs. Muzzle poofs. The rest of this detail, the mouth and the nose, comes later. But we want to get that established. I mean, you could stab a little smile going the other way if you are ready to. And then, before I get into all the other little pieces, I want to start to fold the head over a little bit. Now, be careful not to like pull it out and fold it over. You don't want to thin out the neck too much. I just want to hold it right in place and stab down on the back of the head and neck to start to turn it. It's not going to totally stay there, but just to start to turn it. Oh, it's already cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's smiling.
We're going to work again with a 12-inch piece in quarters. It's just a easy way to go about this.
So there's some good rabbit proverbs. I should probably save
Ooh.
some if we do a hare.
The proverbial hare.
But Chinese proverb. This one's good. Even a rabbit will bite when it is cornered.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Okay, I have a 12-inch quarter. I'm going to split it into 2 6-inch pieces. And we're going to wrap straight around the wide end of the Zuli tool. You know what? I don't even have my notes. I've made so many. So just stay within that inch area. So just going straight around. Nice and smooth. And then slide those off. Those are the thighs. We could put them on, I guess. One, you have rounded edges and you have fringy edges. So one fringy edge is going to go over the back, right in line with the butt. The rounded edge is right in line with the butt. So stab that on there. And then I'm just kind of tacking it to the side. And then you still have this sticking up. That is where the little feet are going to go. So fringy edges are a friend because that helps us attach and have a little bit of a seamless attachment. Rounded edges are considered more finished edges where you need, some kind of dimension and shape. That's why you made the piece in the first place. Now we're going to make 4 of the same shape on the end of the Zully and they're going to be 2 feet and 2 arms. And we're going to finish them off a little differently. The arms are going to get rounder and the feet are going to be flatter, but you'll see. So we still have 3/4, and we're going to take, we're going to have them just like we just did the thighs. So now I have 4 sort of 5 to 6 inch pieces. And I'm going to draw it out a little bit. It's just a little chunky. And what I want to do on this is like the head, just not as much. And I keep it just a little thinner. So I went around and then around the facet, and then I'm going to try and do that again. Around the bottom. And I keep it a nice thin ribbon. And just smooth it out.
So do you put color on now or not yet?
I think I like to do it after, in this case, and slide that off. We're doing that 4 times. You're going to get really good at this, especially because you're going to make 6 bunnies.
That is a lot of little
That's a lot of little hands.
feet.
Now this one feels a little bigger, so maybe this will be a back foot. And I'll put that over here. Maybe I'll have 2 that are a little smaller and 2 that are a little bigger. I'll try to do one right-handed. That'll be fun. See how I'm not going all the way to the end of the tool? Because then it's possible that it'll slide off. I'm going to put that in a small pile. That one feels smaller. Oh,
So you'd make the arms smaller than the feet?
yeah. Oh, this is interesting.
This is how the rest of the world feels
I know,
using their
right?
proper hands.
My drafting is not as good on my right hand. Not too bad. Okay. I'm going to make these the back feet. So I'm just going to set them aside for a second. On the front feet, I want to go ahead and stab this pointy end in and really kind of round that out. So making more of a ghost or bullet shape here. I want to get rid of that point and round that out. Then gently in my hands, I want to roll it just to start to make it round and not flat. And that'll also kind of lengthen the wool out a little bit. All right, now if we want to do a seal point, I'm going to pick my colors. It'd be fun to get a little bit of tan in there. Maybe instead of going real dark, I'll do oatmeal, tan, and the medium gray. So what I'll do is I put a little bit of dark at the end, like a real tiny bit. We're not trying to, totally add a ton more wool to this. If you were making a white bunny,
Fast forward.
if you were making a white bunny, you just take a little bit of white top coat, wrap it around, and keep stabbing and So the way I like to do color blends is I put the dark on. I'm just getting that stuck. I put the light on. And then I put I made them touch. And then I put a thin little bit of medium over both, and it kind of just pulls it all together, and it looks a little bit more seamless. When you're wrapping around like this, it does kind of want to make lines. Now to get rid of this white end, I can just stab in and bring those darker colors around there. And then once I get it going again, I can do this, and this blends it really well too. See how that white just went away?
Yeah.
It's magic. So that's cool. I like that. I like that coloring. Leave this fringy, because that is how it attaches to the body. So I've got my dark on there. Put a thin wrap of light. Oh, this needs to be stabbed a little bit more. It's a little cushy poofy.
So this is a good one. African proverb.
Okay.
If you chase 2 rabbits, you will catch none.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good
Yeah.
one. I could apply that to my own life.
Deep thoughts while felting with Sarah.
Oh boy. This doing all these little colors is a little complicated if it's your first felting project. So, but I want to show it to you as well. So,
If it's your very first one, stick with white.
yeah, stick with white. Okay. And then the hind feet, I'm going to do the same thing, except before I get started, I'm going to stab these a little bit flat. Now these I want to be flat, and I kind of want a little bit pointy on the end. Not pointy, but not totally stabbed round. And on some of them, when I did white, I did little gray toe lines. But since these are getting dark tips, I'm not going to do that. So I'll do the same thing. I'll take a little bit of dark. In this case, instead of wrapping, I think I'll set it down, stab it on, and fold it over. These feet would almost be, I'm going to show a different way to do this, because this would almost be easier as a shape on the, if you're doing all this color, it would be easier as a shape on the felting surface. So I'm going to show that real quick. This is why it's always good to watch first, because I jump around a little bit. All right, so this is showing how we did it on the Zoli tool. And I will make a little heel here. It's a white rabbit, ultimately, just the tips are colored. So I'm okay with this end being white, because that's going to be the back of his little foot. And I'll do this other one. But I want to show this real quick. I would take my white core wool and make a little kind of 2-inch square. And then I would put my oatmeal and my gray at the top, and then a little bit more than that. And then my tan. Get that stuck together. Then we're going to fold it over. Flip it over. All the fibers are going side to side. I'm going to draw a vertical line to establish the center. I'm going to fold the top back a little bit just to get some kind of thickness there. And then I'm going to draw the foot shape, which is basically like an almond. And then fold these in. along that line that I drew. And then make a little heel. Now when you do it like this, you get that nice blend. So that would be the foot that got a little long. I mean a little wide. So just gotta kind of stab it in on itself. So that's instead of wrapping the Zolytol. I would go on like that. That has a big foot. Big feet would be really cute. But to keep them both the same, I'm gonna make my other foot.
All right.
So we made 4 pieces on the Zolytol. And 2 feet and 2 arms. We're gonna make 3 pieces for the head that are gonna be forehead and 2 ears. And I'm gonna do it just like I showed that second foot. So if you were making feet that folding way, you would be making 5 very similar pieces that way. Okay, let's just go ahead and attach these before we work on the head. So pull the fringe around, and this is an opportunity to make your arm longer, shorter, just depending on where you put it. If you need to make it shorter, it's a great idea to kind of pull some of this apart so that it just blends with the body rather than having like a big round chunk on it. Notice he's not very curled up now. That's going to come towards the end a little bit. You can use the a seam ripper is a great way to fringe this out. Of course, I don't have one sitting here. I wasn't a scout, Milo.
What is wrong?
I said I wasn't a scout. We're not prepared.
Oh, you were not. Okay, I was lost for a moment.
So these thighs are kind of floating around a little bit. When you put the feet on, you're gonna secure them down more. But it's good to leave them fluffy because that helps the feet felt on better. Mine usually end up sticking out like a little. You could make them go one way, but mine usually end up. I have the heels together, and then the little toes are sticking out to each side.
This very much looks like a time you could stab yourself.
It's always, there's always the potential.
That in particular.
Yeah, it is tricky too because we don't have much of a fringy edge here. So you're really just stabbing right into this piece. And this is round and wobbly, so. It's looking like something. I like that. Having that tan in there instead of all just gray. Like this one's all gray. Okay, we're going to make 3 similar pieces, and they're going to be 2 ears and a forehead. So we're going to do it the way that I just showed. Let's use, still have a quarter, a 12-inch quarter. So I'm going to break this into 3 pieces. Try to make 3 equal pieces. And then I'm going to restack those to make that little 2-inch square. However you can arrive at this, if you want to use some new wool, that's fine. Right, this one is a little wimpy, so I'm going to add a little bit of wool there. So this time, I'm going to put my white, because these are kind of more complex finished pieces. So I've got Seraphina white. I'm putting at the base of each. I was just kind of pulling like a piece about like that. And then I'm putting my dark gray at the tip. I'm using a little bit more than when I did the, just trying to get the coloring on arms and feet. And then I've got some oatmeal. Letting it all overlap so that it doesn't look too stripy. And just a thin amount of the tan brings it together. See, can you see how thin that is?
Wisps.
Wisps. Mirror wisps.
All right.
All right. You did edit that out. My stretch and grunt. Okay, so we had 3 of these, but I'm going to work on one at a time. They're all going to be the same shape. If you want to, just stab it a little bit to get it stuck. But you're looking at basically a 2-inch square. So 2 inches, less the fluff. And 2 inches this way. So flip it over, dark is still at the top, stab a center line, and then you could use the Zuli tool, just put the tip at the tip, and trace it, go a little wide so you don't nick up your tool.
It'll happen.
It'll happen, I just did it. And then fold in at the lines. So I usually do top, and then side. And I'm just letting all the fringe flop over. I'm not like rolling it or anything like that. I'm just flopping it over. So this shape, we call it house, we call it Pope hat. Milo, can you reach me a punch tool?
Yes.
See, the back side is all cool and blended. Thank you. This is great for the punch tool. Now, this shape 3 times is going to be nose and head poof. Baby bunnies have these great big head poofs. And you pinch the bottom and make ears. So make 3 of these. That's what I'm saying. Oh, and so I'll just show real quick the ears. For the ears, you want to take some of the pink, a very little bit, and I just put it vertically, and the folded part that you saw from the top that you were stabbing is the inside of the ear. And so I just put some pink in there. Remember, you're leaving one piece with no pink. And not that 2 ears, and the third one also not stabbed quite as flat. You just want to get this shape and then leave it alone. I'll show it real quick. I'll do another one real quick. So then with the ear, you want to pinch it together at the bottom and stab that together. Now if your ear ended up huge and you want to make it smaller, pinch it together higher.
Big ears are part of the fun.
Yeah, this is the base of the ear right here. And that's the inside of the ear. I think it's fun sometimes. It just depends on how detailed you want to get. A little bit of darkness down in there. So we're going to make 2 ears, and then I'm going to show this again for the forehead piece. I'm going to flip it over so the pretty colors are on the bottom. I'm going to stab a center line. I'm going to stab my house shape. So angle and then straight, angle and then straight. I'm going to make a nice little pointy nose at the top. Careful when you do this that you lift it up so that it doesn't get too stuck in your felting surface. All right, now for the head piece, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not going to flatten it out or put pink or anything in it. And then you're going to make your other ear. This would be a good time to Google baby bunny.
Yes.
Sleepy baby bunny and look at some pictures because it's just going to help you understand where you're orienting these pieces. I'm going to start with the nose. So I want the tip to come just past the end of the head here. And I'm just going to stab that in and get it started there. And then this, I want to come around the back of the head. This is a little tricky. Holding everything in shape, not letting that neck kind of stretch out and get away from you. And then the sides, what I'd really like is for this to start to blend away. Be careful using your needles like that. But I'll end up putting a little bit of fiber there to get rid of that transition. And then this to start to blend away. That's where the eye slit is right there.
And you sort of create that by pushing and poofing it, not.
I do. I put a little black in there too.
But I mean, for new people to not
Yeah.
fully pull that piece tight
Yeah.
back, leave some of the.
Yeah. Like they have this just huge round head. And my right side is always not as great as my left side. So that's it for now. Like I just getting that on there, okay? Then the ears, I'm gonna place the ears and then there's some little cheek poofs and then it's just blending. So I made my ear a little big. I'm just gonna get rid of some of that. It's a lot. And then everything under the pinch, I'm gonna fan out as much as possible so that it just blends when I put it on here. And they go on the side, towards the back. That's where the pictures help. And I kind of angle them out a little bit. They don't point straight forward. They kind of point out to the side a little bit more. But this takes some stabbing.
There's a lot of options with the ears. You have one with the ears sort of down.
You could make a lop-eared one. Even when I make a lop-eared one, I stick them on this way. And then kind of push them
okay.
over.
We've got a lot of your head and not much of the rabbit.
Well, guess what? Gotta see what I'm doing. Okay. Now, we've got a lot of shaping and blending to do. Also, to make them look a little more bunny-like, I'm going to make a bigger cheek here. And to do that, I'm going to take the Seraphina white and I'm going to try to like restack like a nice 1-inch piece here. Something like that. The staple length is closer to 2 inches, so it's going to be longer, but about 1 inch wide. And then I'm going to put right in this eye crease, the center of this tuft, and stab along there. And then fold this down. And then this is going to make this poofy shape. See how that poofed that cheek out? And the fringe can come down and just go under the neck. Or under the chin. So we want to get poofy cheek on the side.
Oh, wait, I have another proverb that was good.
Oh, good.
Spanish proverb.
Okay.
A kitchen dog is never a good rabbit hunter.
Starve them? Is that what they're saying? Keep them hungry?
I think if you feed them from the counter, they get dependent. They don't have to go work. I don't
Right.
know.
You always take it a step deeper, Milo.
Well, I'm really deep.
All right, so now we have a lot of seams. Like this is too drastic of a color change. I want to cover up these ear seams. So I'm going to take top coat, whatever color works with what you have going on here. I'd like to get some white on here. And just let it kind of cover these. Crazy seams.
Another Spanish proverb.
Okay.
I don't remember Spanish proverbs from before.
They like their rabbits.
Are there lots of rabbits in Spain?
Dunno.
When the rabbit has escaped, comes the advice.
After it's gone.
Yeah, like, real helpful.
And then this I want to blend away a little bit too. So I'm going to mix some tan and some oatmeal together. And then just take a tiny little fringe of it. I'm almost breaking it, like to make it smaller. And put that right there. And that'll just take away that seam. We're getting there. Now you can use black or you can use the dark gray, but you're just going to take tiny little bits, roll it in your fingers, and stab in 2 little eye slits. And you can make a little, just seeing some stabbing that I need to do there. You can make a little line for the middle of the muzzle. Sometimes I make it a little long, stab it in the line, and then use this bottom piece to kind of make a little mouth shape. All we need is a tail and some top coat and to curl him up. So the tail, I'm just going to use oatmeal because the tail is so short, and a little bit of that medium gray and tan. So this is just a smaller version of the ear shape. So I'm literally making a tiny little, that little house shape. Little pointy end, and then fold the sides in. About 1 inch tall and 1/2 inch wide. And then you could take some Seraphina white, kind of fluff it up, stab it in randomly, and make a little kind of cottontail. Gonna leave it poofy, not felted flat. Then the fringe end of the tail goes onto the butt. And you got that little cottontail sticking out there. Sorry if my head's in the way.
I'm pretty zoomed right now.
So he's a little, he's a little floppy. But now we're going to put white top coat on. And as we do that, kind of curl him up and really get him into, don't be afraid to really felt him into a ball. And you can decide, where you want his little arms to go. And so I'm going to try to work with like a nice 3-inch long piece of white top coat, because what I want it to do is go over the butt and cover the thighs on each side and meet up with the foot. So I center it on the butt and then let all the fringe come over and come towards the foot. And that's another opportunity to get that foot felted on there a little bit more. And then on the other side, let the fringe come over. Oh, I love this little guy. We want another nice piece to go across the back of the arms.
So what do you call an operation on a rabbit?
I can let the fringe kind of come over the arms a little bit too and blend that oatmeal, white area away. Like, see how that's coming onto the arm a little bit? What do I call a what?
Sorry, an operation on a rabbit.
I don't know.
A haircut.
Hey, that's not
Yes,
operation.
it is a haircut.
Oh, I get it. I guess it is. All right, now I'm holding them into a curl. I can't teach and answer
Really good
witty
questions.
jokes at the same time. He's got a little kind of lumpy area there, so I'm taking a little extra top coat and just trying to make him not look quite so. I want him to be nice and round is what I'm trying to say. So now everything I do, I'm holding it in this curled up shape. Oh, that was close.
Uh-oh.
I know. So you put them like this and come this way. Just watch your fingers. If you need a little more around the ears, you can do that. Okay, just trying to keep them curled up and felt that top coat on and get rid of fringe. I kind of like maybe one hand. Let's see, his little hands could both be out. Nah, I like one hand in there, I think. And you can get detailed and, like I said, make little lines in the paws and I might work on these colors on his face a little bit more. That's it. That's all she wrote.
He looks great.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Even though I'm a little bit hairy. Get it?
I do.
You're always harried.
Yes, it's a
It's
lot.
your life.
It's a thing.
That's why I'm harried. Because you're harried.
Yeah.
So this little bunny I made, I like that coloring a lot.
Me too. We match.
Yes, you do. I hope you will make some of these. I hope you'll join the Felt on Earth giveaway. And so the group on Facebook for that is Serafina Felt on Earth. We also have a group, just our general Serafina needle felting group. It's called Serafina Felting Fanfare. So just make sure you distinguish between the two. And share your stuff there and ask questions there. There's a lot of support and a lot of good members and good people, good things going on.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing all of your little bunnies.
Me too. Thanks.
Bye.